my side, which is the event technology, must work, but tech team, M-Pesa better not fail. It better work.
You're promoted to?
Publicity manager.
Does that 125 go up?
Yes, it does, to 250, I think, at the time.
Wow, that's a good jump. Especially seeing how you've gotten married in the same year.
And remember, there's increments.
Oh,
in
there
between,
is.
yeah.
It's in the payment structure. Is it a yearly increment?
Yes, yes.
And then is there a bonus?
Yes, yes. The bonus was every year.
Now, how is your bonus attached? Is it to your KPIs? Because you're not passing.
It is. It's performance-based. There's a formula. Somebody doesn't wake up and emotionally decide that they're gonna, oh, I like Richie, let me give him more money than Izo. No, there's a formula. You can calculate and know exactly. So it's based on the level that you're at, so the grade you're at, and then your performance. So if you're mover, good, exceptional, whatever they're called, and that formula, you can calculate for yourself based on your salary.
Oh,
so all
nice.
of us, I still have that. I mean, I'm sure somewhere that document exists where you can see what bonus you earned.
Yeah.
It's a formula.
And I'm sure at this time, are you thinking family? Are you thinking...
My daughter was a surprise, and I'll tell you why. We were not thinking we wanted a child straight away or children straight away, no.
I call it dinks. You know what dinks is? Double income, no kids.
Yeah. That was remember, though, I have my mother in my house and Tariq is still supporting his mom and sister. So the double income, maybe no kids, but there was attachments.
Yes. Okay.
The email had attachments.
Yeah.
No, so I had a couple of issues, and when we went to the doctor, she had said I probably was not going to be able to conceive. So we knew that, and I was given some medicines because I'd been a little bit unwell. And we were given some medicines. However, when we were driving home, I said to Tariq, and he said as well, he said, I don't want you taking the medicines. Can we avoid them? I'm not sure that's the right path. So we didn't bother taking the medicines, Richie. Hallelujah.
A few days later.
We were pregnant. Thank God I didn't take the medicine, because I don't know how things would have turned out, because they were very strong medicines. So thank God we didn't take the medicines, because...
What, you were already pregnant at the time? Or you just quickly became pregnant after that?
We married in February, Cullen came in January. So...
Oh, yeah, I can do the maths.
Yeah. So one day I'm like, not only am I late, I'm nauseated like crazy. My mother's like, you go and get checked. I was like, the doctor said I cannot be pregnant. It must just be I'm tired from all these trips. And she said, you're pregnant. And I said, Mom, you... And I wasn't ready. Why, when I found out, I really cried, because I wasn't really ready. Career woman, I'm only 29, blah, 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 blah. Where am I going? Children will slow me down.
No, you don't... No. Ebu, talk about that. That's a huge problem and I don't want to call it a problem. That's a huge challenge that is being faced.
For women, it is, because the man's life doesn't stop. My life will stop. And I'll tell you why. Because, not that it stopped, and I'll tell you how amazing Safaricom was with all my children, is you have this notion as a woman that my child would arrive and my career was going to slow down because now I have to be at home. I'm on maternity. I'm going to miss out on the promotions. I won't be considered. None of that happened. Actually, Richie, funny enough, with every child came a promotion for me.
Hey, sing that Sauti Soul song.
It's exactly what I said. It's actually, I quoted that exact what you said when Mtota, the plate. Yes. But every child came with a big moment. With my last one coming, with me becoming a head of department. So, but it's a reality that women face. You know, it's few and in between brands like Safaricom who'll wait for you to come back and who'll be patient. Two of my first two children I had in Michael Joseph's time. My other two children have in Bob's time. Both of them enabled me as a woman that I don't think I would have had in any other at the time. These guys were forward thinking. Wow. Whereas it was a joke in Safaricom that I was always pregnant, I was enabled really well. I was never punished for being pregnant. I never felt that I went home and my job would not be waiting for me when I came back. And remember now, Safaricom as well, outside of the 3 months of what the government was giving us paternity leave, by the time I was having my 4th baby, we were also given an additional 2 months to take. So you could take 5 months
By
maternity leave.
Safaricom.
So you
Fully
could,
paid.
and then when you came back, it was half day. And you could go home, breastfeed, come back if you wanted, but half day return
No
to work.
way.
Yes.
You know, the other day we were moving office, and it's the first time we had to put a women's room for breastfeeding.
Yeah.
And it's a government regulation.
Yes.
But this is just new.
No, for us it was, we had a creche. You could bring your kids. My kids were always, in fact, they were telling me the other day how much they used to love coming to work with me because my PA would spoil them with sweets and biscuits. Then they'd go to the creche. They look after. In fact, they thought mom's job can't be hard because it can't be hard. But we had a mother's room, we had a prayer room, we had a creche. We had all of that, and I didn't have to leave the building for any of that. So I could, and Richie, remember, my work was so mobile. I was traveling across the country. In fact, with my 3rd born, Tristan, I had Tristan in December, and I was not due back until May. But we sponsored a really big event called Connected Kenya in Mombasa at Diani. And I used to run that project, and they asked me if I'd come back earlier, and I could consider, and they paid for the nanny to come with me, and Tristan, at the month, he was born in December, so it was just 4 months, and I babied him to Diani, and he was part of the whole ecosystem. In fact, during tea breaks, people would carry Tristan, colleagues would be walking. So we were in a very, for me, it was a very healthy work-life balance.
You know, sometimes, and I want to, you're speaking, and I'm just like, okay, you're bringing up so many questions. Myself and Aizo were in Estonia, and we went to WISE, and we found out about the culture there in terms of, I mean, how much off they give. You could see the different rooms, and it really got me thinking about this. But then, the first thing is, you said that getting kids you felt was going to slow you down. You actually cried. You said those are words. You said that you actually cried because you're just like. So Safaricom sounded like at that time it's an anomaly, and maybe even till today. I'm not even going to.
There's still women genuinely who will struggle with that. That will my career slow down, etc. Of course, we're advancing and credit given where it's due, but it's not rosy for everybody. I mean, with my daughter, and thankfully, I learned very quickly that they were not going to slow me down because I wasn't going to allow that either. They went with me wherever I went. If we were going to Mombasa for the weekend for work, I would carry my kids with me because I didn't feel like I needed to give one up for the other. But that's not for everybody, Richie. You know, that's, some people are like, what are your children doing here? Why are they here? Leave them at home.
Wow, okay. And also, you are in the event space. So yours means a lot of movement. So even pregnancy with that.
I left with my 2nd born and 4th born, both born in July. Lewa is held on sometimes the 3rd Saturday of June or the last Saturday of June. I left both of them to hand over and go and have them. I was literally pregnant in Lewa, ready. In fact, it's a joke, but my last born, I was so heavily pregnant in Lewa, they actually had one security guy, Ngala, follow me around the whole time because they were so afraid. I wasn't allowed to come. So let me go back a little bit. Bob was like, she better not be coming to Lewa. And he said that a month before. And my boss was like, you heard the boss. You cannot come to Lewa. And I was like, you ain't going to tell me what to do. I was not going to miss that. I'm pregnant. I'm not sick. You know. And I kept saying, I'm not unwell. I'm pregnant. So I broke all the rules. And as far as Bob knew, I was not going to be in Lewa. And it didn't matter because I went on the Wednesday. My husband was fine with it. We had planned, if I do whatever, this baby number 4, by this time I should be able to, but in Lewa already, there were so many emergency services available for the whole marathon. There were doctors on call. I think Dr. Bat, who's the Nanyuki doctor was already staying. I mean, I didn't have to go anywhere. Baby could be born wherever I wanted it to be born, kind of thing. So easier said than done. Though Richie inside was like, please don't come here. I cannot imagine how I'm giving birth in the bush. But anyway, so Bob comes, lands, and me, I'm hiding. I'm like, you better not. Of course, he's going to see me.
Yeah.
And he was livid. He's like, why are you here? Who told you to come? It's not okay. It's not. He's like, look at you. Your baby's even dropped. And so that was Friday. But Saturday morning, you wake up at 4:30 in the morning, etc. By this time, Aiden, my last board, had already started taking position to
Exit.
Yes. And he was born on the Wednesday, 4th of July. So, but again, it was never a punishing environment, right? It was an enabling. As much as he was annoyed I was there, they then said, okay, fine, she's here now. Let's just make sure somebody's looking after her.
Wow.
And then poor Ngala is following me around and I'm like, why are you here? And
he's like, that's my job.
Listen, please, you walk. If I don't do my job, you'll get me in trouble. My job is to follow you around. And I was like, no, it's not. He's like, I'm not leaving.
Are you telling me you've been doing events for the last 20 years and more?
25.
For 25 years?
I'm now on my 26th
Every other week you'd be at an event?
Yes. I don't think there's a week that has been eventless.
Wow. Okay, so you made, sorry again, the second promotion that you got, the first promotion that you got in Safaricom was?
Publicity manager.
Publicity manager, yes. And then after that, is there anything eventful in that time that you think that is definitely worth sharing? And your normal routine became eventful. It's just
it's just normal. I don't think anything was outstanding. Look, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009.
But are there other promotions within that time?
Yes. So first one is first one is publicity manager, then events and sponsorship manager, then senior manager brand assets and sponsorships, then HOD events and sponsorships.
Okay. Wait. So the first one was publicity manager. That one I've understood. Then
next is events and sponsorship manager.
So now this is when now you're checking into sponsorship.
Yes.
So what does that mean? And it's also 2007. When is M-Pesa?
2007. I'm having my daughter in January. She's arrived in January. M-Pesa happens in March. I'm on maternity leave.
Oh, you're on maternity leave?
Yes, but event is planned. So before I've gone into, because remember now M-Pesa, not only is it M-Pesa launching, but the launch moment is Michael Joseph at the Grand Regency calling the then finance minister who's in Kipipiri, or them sending money. Then there's a live, no, they were both at Grand Regency. And there was going to be a phone call where they were sending money to a school in Kipipiri, and that school was going to confirm receipt, and we show it on phone. And that was going to be televised, shown live on, not TV, over satellite. And we had gone into so many technical meetings, and we were told if that live feed fails, we should all, I was already at home, so sending me home was not going to be an option, but yeah, so we bought the satellite from South Africa, and the redundancy was out of France. It was that serious that that launch moment cannot fail. But I was in my house sitting there asking my team and everybody and my boss, how is it going? Have we launched well? Has it gone well? 7th of March, 2007.
Madam Dates. So let me understand this. Is this a live broadcast?
Yes.
So there's a live broadcast going out. You know the way we do live right now?
In the room. Now it's WhatsApp. Exactly. No, this is big
TV,
deal.
Live broadcast.
Have TV, it's in the people in the room, they're going to see this money being sent.
Yes, from
a phone that has never been done before. And it's going to Kipipiri to pay school fees or whatever it was. Yes. And you're going to see Richie on that side receive the money live. So not only is it that my side, which is the event technology, must work, but tech team, M-Pesa better not fail. It better work. The high octaneness of that was not a joke.
And you're live to the nation.
Yes. I don't know if we're live on TV. I want to believe we were. But me, what I remember my part, and the only part I was not sleeping about, was that whatever happens in Kibipiri can be seen here in
Oh, so
Nairobi.
you
Live feed.
wow.
Mine was live feed.
So you, the people who are in the event room,
Must see what's happening in Kipipiri.
So-
That was my KPI.
yeah. I have understood this. So you got a satellite so that the people in the room can see this live thing happening.
Some sort of technology, yeah. But, and remember, it has to work with the sound in the room, it has to work with the screen. Whatever's happening in Kipipiri must be heard. We must hear the peep, 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 peep. All of that has to work. And me, I'm on maternity leave in my house, sitting in my house in Kilimani, like this.
Oh, no wonder you are calling and asking, as this thing.
Yes, because I'm on maternity leave, I'm not allowed to come back. Me, I was like, I can come back. My daughter was born exactly 2 months prior, January 6th, so I'm ready.
They're
But
like,
guys are like, sit in your house, please. We can handle this. Not that I think they couldn't.
Yes.
It was just, you've worked on this for so many months. Imagine not being there for it.
In 2006, when the idea was brought to me about this possibility of using your phone for the microfinance industry to send and to disperse and microfinance loans and repayment of microfinance loans, I was just in a company that I thought should be extremely innovative. And so it was just another idea. We said,
Yeah.
of course, let's do it. Let's try it. We trialed it in Thika. We saw that there were more possibilities for it. And then we launched it in 2007 as a masterstroke. Remember the Minister of Finance sending money, the Minister of Telecom sending money to the Minister of Finance up in Kipipiri or something
That's
like
right,
that, if I remember
exactly,
correctly.
yeah.
And it was filmed and set and live.
Yeah.
And thank God it worked.
Yeah, thank God it worked. Yeah,
there was a
the link
satellite thing
worked.
up there and everything worked. And, you know, we did not know it would be so successful. We really didn't know. But what it took was just absolute determination, passionate determination to be successful. And we drove it really, really hard. There wasn't a day when I didn't go down to the third floor in Safaricom house and say, how many subscribers did you sign up yesterday? And if they didn't meet the private target, I got very angry. And I basically said, you have a target, 1 million customers by the end of 2007, or I fire all of you. And they said, oh, it's so difficult, it's this and that and whatever. I said, I don't care, you're going to do it. And we did it. And that was what turned it around.
Did you understand that M-Pesa was going to be a thing?
No one. I think those of us who are not close to it in a manner that some people who would never understand what this thing was going to become. It was yet another product we were launching. It was like another Sambaza. Truthfully, it's the same way. Years before, I was like, oh, another department in in Telcom. No.
So you saw the birth of M-Pesa in terms of the team
Yes,
coming.
yes,
Would you be informed internally, or we're working on this?
We did, and Safaricom was still a small team. We were not that many, so you still knew everybody, everyone knew you. Now it's so big. Sometimes
Now it's a whole other company.
Yeah, sometimes when I walk into the retail shop in Galleria where I go most, I see new faces. I'm like, okay, now who are you? But at that time, you would walk into the retail shop, everyone would know you and you know. It's just become big, as do companies.
Yes.
But no, on the floor for M-Pesa where it was being run from, there was a thermometer, and every day would be colored of where we are, because the target was to get 1 million customers. So we were all waiting to see this thermometer hit.
Oh, so every transaction that was being done on M-Pesa,
We were coloring every week to wait to see.
oh,
the
we've
hit.
hit 100,000, we've hit 200,000,
Yes.
like that.
The target was 1 million customers. So even if it was not my daily KPI, you were emotionally invested in it because you had either been part of the launch, it was the biggest thing the company was doing. Innovation was such a big deal for us,
Okay.
for everybody. So even if Sambaza was going to be launched, it was, we're launching this new thing, nobody has done it before. And that's where the glory was, right? We were going to do something no one ever did before. Even in my own space, if you look at something like Kenya Live, nobody had ever performed live on stage.
Kenya Live
We
is
were
a-
always on playback. So we were always looking at being different. And not pompous different, but just different. Innovation was giving people what they don't know they need yet.
Okay, we're going to have to talk about Kenya Live because that one changed the music industry completely. And I remember, in fact, you've said it, I've remembered it so clearly. But these products that were coming up, so all of these things, once they are launched, they have to touch your department.
Because we're taking it to
you're
the
taking
market,
it to
yes.
to the grounds.
Yes. Most of the time through events.
Yes.
But the marketing side of it, advertising, 100% was there. We would be maybe 80, 90%. Some things were launched in the media, some things were launched through events.
But so what are some of the products that had come out before M-Pesa? I heard you keep saying Sambaza.
Okay, look, where in the year 2000, the scratch cards that were available in the market were 250, 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000.
Great. Yes, 250, I remember.
I think in 2005, we launched 10 bob, 50 bob, which were a big deal because now it meant I didn't have to buy a 250 shilling scratch card, which is the lowest denomination. Now you could go as low as 10 bob, 50 bob, 100 bob. So those were some of the things we were launching.
That's the whole agenda of getting this smartphone into everybody's hands.
Make it affordable as well.
So is there like a think tank within Safaricom that's coming up with all of this? Or what's the feedback mechanism? Like no one is buying the 250 because they can't afford. We need something else. How does that become a product or an innovation?
You know, Richie, to be honest, I don't have I don't recall there being a department. I think it was just, as it is with startups, is what problem are we solving for and how do we solve that problem? I think that was the mentality in which things were approached.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's feedback.
You're listening to the customer. Somebody's telling you, I don't make, Mamboga wants to buy the airtime, but she doesn't have 250 shillings. She has 10 bob. So why are we not making a 10 bob scratch card available?
Wow.
And at that time, because the scratch card was going to be more expensive than the 10 bob itself, we released an electronic voucher. So we would just print the voucher. She could go to a dealer or a shop, have it printed, I think, and have the
code.
Yeah. So I think, Richie, a lot of the innovation came from listening to the customer. We were always told you cannot be sitting in the office and think you know what the customer on ground wants.
That's when I'm hearing what you're saying, that's the truth of the matter. Because you guys are here making these salaries, you probably can afford the 250.
100%.
And it's not even something that you think
remember,
about.
we're not buying scratch cards. First of all,
yes, you are not
Richie,
buying.
I'm on postpay. And my level, at an entry level, my allowance for talk time was 10,000 bob as a junior staff member. By the time I was leaving as an HOD, I was at 25,000 shillings a month. I never even hit 10K a month. So buying scratch cards was not in my agenda. On top of that, on my salary slip, I also got airtime.
I get it. So you guys in this office,
so it's very easy to sit there and be absorbed by this whole thing and not know what's the reality on ground. But we were taken on ground. And when you have a leader who's on ground, I think all the leadership in Safaricom was on ground on a Friday. And it was forced. It was, how am I supposed to sell in the trade if I don't understand the trade?
This is so brilliant.
And I think it helped us win on so many levels.
For you, what did this mean being on ground? I mean, okay, no.
I was on ground.
You are the definition of being on ground.
I hardly was in my... By the way, at some point I was like, this desk is just for vibes. I didn't even put pictures of my family because I was never there. Seriously, I was never there. My desk was just... I don't think I ever had anything on my desk.
You were on ground and throughout the whole country.
I think we would see the office maybe on a Monday. But remember, your travel, you come back Sunday night, Monday is your rest day. So Tuesday is the only real day you're seeing me. And then we're out again, if that. Sometimes we'd leave Maralal on a Sunday, go to Leisure Lodge in Diani for a golf tournament. You finish that, you come, you change. Remember I told you how my changeover was just suitcases?
Yeah.
You're just meeting somebody to change suitcases.
This is how I know the magnitude of what you did. I did a lot for Safaricom Live and Kijiji.
Nikona Safaricom Live, the second round.
Yeah, the second one.
Because the first one we did with Fat Entertainment, the second one we did with Kijiji Kina.
The first one you did with, you didn't the first one with Homeboys?
So the first one was Kenya Live. I didn't handle that.
Oh,
I wasn't in that position at the time. When the manager brand assets was done, I was still events and sponsorships. Brand assets was not under me, it was under somebody else.
Okay, we're coming.
Kenya Live was being run by somebody else, and so was Sakata Ball. And then a restructure happened, and that that section called brand assets was brought under me. So then I became event sponsorship brand assets.
What? Hey, let's take a break. We'll be back just now.